Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathers. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lovely to talk to me, funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Vince, thank you so much for taking the time. Absolute pleasure to talk to you. I've been a big fan of the show since its premiere, so thank you for taking the time.
Oh, great to be with you, Brad, and great to be talking to Houston. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning to you as well. Now, look, one of my favorite movies of all time is 1985's Fletch with Chevy Chase. And for years, when we would talk about this movie and who could carry the Fletch mantle, my pick was always Vince Vaughn. I feel like Vince Vaughn could nail Fletch. And now seeing Bad Monkey, I kind of feel vindicated. I feel like this, whether intentionally or unintentionally, has some connective tissue to Fletch. So my question is, when you're taking on Yancey in this role, do you look to any other outside influences for the detective story?
Gosh, I guess we're probably shaped by a lot of stuff that comes before us, but not really in so much as Carl Housen wrote such an interesting book, and Yancey's so specific, such an interesting kind of dating situation that he's in and life situation. When you meet him, he's kind of behind the eight ball, as they would say, when it comes to his job. So, Bill Lawrence, who's the showrunner, did Ted Lasso, Shrinking, so many great shows. I've known him for years. So I think what I'm agreeing with is the tone is unique. Like, it's comedic and the characters are funny, and not just my character. There's a lot of fun perspective from characters in this. But then there's a lot of crime and a lot of stakes to it as well. So it's just an interesting tone that you don't see every day.
No, you don't see it every day, and especially with Yancey, as you said, he has such a specific sense of humor where he finds a great joke in most of the time the most wrong situation and inappropriate situation and nails it with the perfect one-liner. My question is, was a lot of that already in the script, or did you kind of adapt it, sort of what you did in Curb, of like, here's the scene, here's the story, riff as you may?
Yeah, there was a good foundation of a script, but a lot of improvising is really writing. If you understand story and character and where the scene's going, you're just looking to add to that. So the spirit of the character was there, and I had great lines on the page, but Bill was definitely, gave me the green light to explore stuff depending on the scene. So we definitely would add to it, and as the people got familiar with their characters, it became so much more easy to kind of play around with what was already good material.
And being able to play a character throughout multiple episodes, I feel like different than a film, You have more chance to find it and figure out the psychology of that character. Did you enjoy having that experience?
On this particular one, I did. This is fun because I think one of the things that works being a Carl Housen book is having the 10-part episode, because it's a longer format to kind of explore the story. It would have felt so condensed in a 2-hour version, if you will. So I think that having that breadth, and also just the world and the other characters, it's fun to take those detours and you're following, what's going on in different locations, and then obviously the heavies are the criminals and what they're doing. So the show gets to breathe, and it's kind of fun to see these different storylines fill out and then collide with each other.
And when you have a strong source material like you do for this one with the book, how much of a sense of loyalty do you feel like you have to be to what's in the pages, and how much of yourself do you look to bring to that character?
That's a great question. I think, it's now being told as a visual medium. I think it's why some of the voiceover being told from that character's perspective is so helpful and interesting in the piece, because there's such great written action, in a novel where they're describing stuff, and this kind of allows you to set the tone in a way that Carl would. But it's its new interpretation, so you always are off of the source material, but as it becomes visual and as it becomes longer with the 10-part series, you explore and kind of expand upon, but keep the DNA of what the original is.
Well, the show is fantastic. I've loved it since the beginning. I hope we see more of Yancey in the future, and thank you so much for taking the time. You're one of my all-time favorites, so this was quite the treat.
My man, what a pleasure. Great spending some time with you this morning.